I'm sorry. You would like to amend?
I'd like to strike. I'm sorry. I'd like to strike item 2, additional considerations. No amendments or changes to the resolution will be heard from the floor or considered in order at any time.
I'm sorry, what was the rule number again? I got the second.
Okay, it's rule number 6, item 2.
Okay. It is moved and seconded to amend the rules by striking Rule 6, Section 2, additional consideration. No amendments or changes to a resolution would be heard from the floor or considered in order at any time. Since the member was not given the opportunity to change the rule at the time, we will do this by majority vote. Is there any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the rule is stricken. Are there any other amendments to the rules?
I would like to move that Rule 6, Section B, 1A, the 20% be changed to 5%, and that B1C, the 9 a.m. be changed to 10 a.m., and that would be effective for the resolutions presented to the floor today.
The chair would have to rule the first portion of the amendment out of the order because it is listed in the bylaws and those rules cannot be changed. The second part of the amendment to strike, if I'm restating it incorrectly, please correct me, to strike 9 a.m. and insert 10 a.m. Is that acceptable to the mover?
Correct.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to amend the rules for the time of resolution submittal from the floor by striking 9 and inserting 10 a.m. Is there any debate?
Yes, I can have a discussion. Deborah Miller, Legislative District 16, Assistant Secretary. Since the time has passed and we have to verify every signature and that they have to be present for the signatures, we have totally dismantled all of the computers. We have no way to verify any signatures submitted on petitions after 9 a.m. This change should have occurred prior to the 9 a.m. deadline to ensure that we could properly verify the signatures. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Is there debate in favor?
So I just am trying to get a resolution from the floor, and there was a lot of confusion about when the deadline was to get it, and so I turned it in slightly after, between 9 and 10. I don't know if mine were verified. That's the reasoning behind why I'm making the proposal.
Linda White, Secretary. I'd like to join Assistant Secretary Deborah Miller and say that the rules of the meeting were sent in the call to meeting, which identified 9 o'clock as the deadline.
That's right.
Okay, as chairman, I would actually like to put out my 2 cents on this and argue in favor of accepting it. Let me tell you why. This last cycle, when it came to the resolutions, we had bylaws we have current bylaws right now that say we have 45 days prior to our meetings to get these resolutions submitted. Well, 45 days prior to this meeting, you actually have multiple counties and legislative districts who haven't even elected their state committeemen. So it's virtually impossible for a large majority of our state to comply with this because they don't have state committeemen that can credibly or based on our credentials submit it. Okay, and one of the things I attempted to do, and our resolutions committee changed it back to our bylaws, which they should by the rules. I tried to extend it to get more resolutions accepted, tried to give you a bigger voice in this. And
Point of order, you need to speak to
so directly to the question is, I would be in favor of this because I think it's, there was some confusion and I helped contribute to that, so thank you.
Chair recognizes the member at the mic.
Kim Owens, CD3. I rise in opposition to the motion, the amendment to strike the rule. A few minutes' time did not make or break. If it did, it doesn't deserve to be on the floor. Everyone knew the timeline. As Secretary White has said, everyone was made aware of the timeline in full understanding of the chairman's message of 45 days. We're talking about an hour. You should have been prepared. You should have learned. I respect that you're here. I admire you for trying, but the rules are to be followed.
Mr. Chairman, I support Deborah Miller's objection to the motion, and the reason being I'm A.J. LaFaro from LD18, Corbell Precinct. I'm the author of the resolution to close the primaries, and I watched Deborah and her team back there, and they worked for almost 3 hours certifying the signatures on my resolution alone. If a person can't get their resolutions in by the designated time, 9 o'clock, then with this proposal of 10 o'clock, that's going to destroy Deborah Miller and the entire process that they go through to vet those signatures and validate those signatures. And one other question, is this motion for these rules only or for all future rules of GOP meetings, AZGOP meetings?
The chair would respond to that question. It would be for these rules only because those rules are readopted in each subsequent. Thank you, sir.
I don't know, it's already been done.
Is there any further debate?
May I say something like that?
I don't know, right? Where'd she wait till now?
More debate.
Because he asked for more debate. Yeah, big mistake.
So if you could not find Ray Sweeney because nobody knew exactly where he was going to be, and you turned in your stuff at 9:08 a.m.,
Oh,
you're lost. You're saying that all that work that we did since 6:15 this morning is for naught. When we got ours in by the extension to December 31st.
Is there any further debate?
John Fan, District 18. If you keep the 9 o'clock deadline, then maybe we should have a mechanism where if we have certain completed pages, from different counties, there should be a mechanism that we can submit them as we complete the pages, like 8 o'clock, 8:30, rather than at the very end. Because today, I was trying to turn in the pages. I had trouble finding the person to turn the pages to. Took me like 15, 20 minutes just to locate the person to turn the pages to.
Good point.
Somebody asked him where he was at.
Yeah, exactly.
Those in favor of amending the rule by striking 9 and inserting 10, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. No. In the chair's opinion, the noes have it, and the motion is lost. Are there any further amendments to the rule?
Point of order.
Member Wisdom's point.
Can we have a hand count?
No.
Condition wasn't called.
You could make a motion to have a hand count.
Motion and a hand count.
Oh boy.
Another temperamental baby that's lost and can't stand.
Caleb Rhodes, I make a motion to have a hand count.
Caleb, shame on you.
Is there a second?
Second.
You mean a standing vote or a counted vote?
Standing vote.
The member can do that by the demand of a single member. Those in favor of the amendment will rise, and if you have proxy cards, hold them up.
Which amendment? His motion?
Yeah.
Have we voted on his motion yet?
That's, you don't have to.
Be seated. So the member will state his point. Those in favor will raise your hand.
What are we voting for? What?
Those in favor will raise your hand.
Of what?
In favor of the amendment to strike 9 and insert 10, raise your hand. Your hand's down. Those opposed will raise your hand. In the chair's opinion, it's obvious that the motion is defeated. Are there any further amendments to the rules? Therefore, without objection, we'll adopt the rules as amended.
I have a question.